And then the time came where I felt like I was dying, that I had no energy left to give to anybody else. And I realized that the people pleaser inside of me had completely taken over. And the person that I knew I was at one point in my life had gone dormant. And I made it my goal to uncover her again, to find her, to excavate her, and bring her back to life. Imagine you only had 5 months to live. What would you give yourself permission to do today? And I don't mean to scare you. I'm just trying to wake you up so that you can see how precious and beautiful your life really is. Would you still care what other people think? Would you still care what other people do? Would you still hide who you are to make other people comfortable? Would you keep telling yourself someday, later, or when the kids are grown? I'm Steph Shanks, and I am a portrait photographer. I have a blog. I am a podcaster, and I also have a free workbook called The Permission Slip, and I'm putting the links in the comments just for you so that you can uncover your truth, your desire, and find more joy in your life. It's a permission slip to be you. What would you give yourself permission to do? To want more, to be more, to laugh more, to smile more. If you only had 5 months to live, I know that you would make big changes in your life, and that is what I'm here to help guide you with. For so long, I lived in this people-pleasing universe. I've stayed in relationships far longer than I needed to. I've said yes when I've been screaming no on the inside, and I've watered myself down just so I could keep the peace. And then the time came where I felt like I was dying, that I had no energy left to give to anybody else. And I realized that the people pleaser inside of me had completely taken over. And the person that I knew I was at one point in my life had gone dormant. And I made it my goal to uncover her again, to find her, to excavate her, and bring her back to life. The hardest thing to do was to give myself permission to do this because all I wanted to do was to stay in a relationship, to be the best mom that I could be, and to not rock the boat because that's how I thought a good woman should be. So I had to go against everything that I had been taught in order to find myself again. And what I want for you to know is that it doesn't have to be that scary. You don't have to do it alone. And that there's people out there like me that have gone through the journey and are here to tell you how amazing it is on the other side. Because that was my biggest fear was I didn't know what was going to be on the other side. I didn't know when I was free falling how long I would free fall. I didn't know if I was making the right choice. And I didn't know if I could trust myself because for so long I let others dictate my life, my decisions, because I thought that if I didn't make the choice, then I couldn't be held responsible, then I wouldn't be wrong. And my biggest fear was being wrong. So having to face all of these big emotions that I'd been snuffing out all at once was very scary for me. So what about for you? What if time was running out? What if your life was worth living now, not after everyone else's needs are met? And that is such a huge piece to this process. I still put other people's needs in front of my own quite often. I'm not perfect at this. However, I've learned that I have little triggers, and if I can identify the triggers and kind of know what's happening, then I know what I need. For instance, if I start feeling really antsy, anxious, kind of prickly, like a cactus, then I know that it's time to have some me time, to have stuff time. What that is it can be so many different things depending on the day, depending on the season. But right now, I know that if I'm feeling that anxiousness, that it's time to go for a hike, it's time to turn off the TikTok, the YouTube, it's time to get off the couch, and it's time to take care of me and move my body. Basically, it's doing whatever the opposite is that what my brain is telling me. So if I'm in these moods, my brain tells me that I need to relax, that I should just relax and stay on my phone because going outside is scary. And or it means before I sit down and create content, it means I have to have the house clean. I don't have to have the house clean. It's constantly going against all these thoughts in my head, and I have to question what these thoughts in my head, what in the heck are they even trying to do? Because if I only had 5 months to live, if this was my only time on this planet, would I be sitting here cleaning my dining room table, or would I be trying to create something that is a legacy to my children, create something that is going to change other people's lives? And I too have to give myself permission every day to be the person that I know I can be. Because if I just listen to the thoughts in my head, my brain would just tell me that I am not worthy, I am not capable, I do not have a voice that should be listened to, and I need to stay safe. I know that those thoughts in my head are just thoughts, though, and that's the difference. I know that my brain is just trying to keep me safe, and I know that whatever I need to do is on the opposite side of that fear, so I have to constantly keep pushing and pushing and pushing against whatever is in here. And the more I push against it, the more power I give my joy, the more power I give my soul, and the more power I give my heart. And that is the most amazing feeling, is when you feel good. Give yourself permission to feel good, not because you're faced with a terminal illness and not because you literally only have 5 months to live. Hopefully you have so much longer. But give yourself permission to feel good. Feel joy. Go for that walk. Eat the good meal. Take the vitamins. Meditate. Journal. Spend time with the people that you love. These are all things that are so good for us that we forget because we are so busy taking care of everybody else, everything else, that we just automatically start feeling that we don't matter. And the truth is that you matter. So today, start with one truth, one small moment of honesty, one decision that honors you. Just one. You don't have to completely rearrange your whole life like I did, because I was putting so many things, almost brick upon brick upon brick, about from my joy. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, and we don't know what the next chapter is in our lives. The only thing we can do and the only thing we can control is ourselves and how we react to it. This is your life, and you get to write the script. So if this kind of brought something up for you, please follow along, please subscribe. I have a link to download my workbook on, it's called Permission Slip. I'm here to remind you that it's never too late, and you don't need to be ready. You just need to be your most authentic, beautiful self and start following your bliss.